We are live on Thursday night. Yay! Here we are, starting out another week of summer, and I hope you're not having too much heat out there because I know a lot of people are. I'm hearing temperatures of over 100 in Denver, and that's where I'm heading. But anyway, we've got a fun night scheduled tonight. We've got Debbie, she's out on the road, and we're going to hear some of her road trip in her ProMaster nomadic life and hear a little bit about that. We're going to talk about some of the products that were purchased over Prime Days, which were just the last couple days. So people scored some massive stuff. So if you have anything, be sure to go in the type room or type room in the chat room and let us know what you get. And let's start bringing some people in. I see Deb right now is coming in from San Diego. How you doing, Debbie?
I'm great. Thank you. Good to
Oh,
be here.
good. Yes, I'm so happy to see you. Cheryl's coming in from Washington State. How's it up there,
Hello.
Cheryl?
It's finally warming up.
Oh, warming up. Oh, you don't have
We've had
the.
a really cool spring, so it's nice to have a little bit of heat.
Oh, that's nice, nice. And then we've got Mary here. Mary, how's it going out in Georgia?
It's good. It's still a little muggy, quite warm, but it's all good.
Okay. Okay, and I got a secret I hear about what you bought too. So we're going to talk about that after we find out about Debbie a little bit. Everybody's spending money. Yay. There's no recession. We're not in an inflationary time period. We're spending money, folks. Anyway, yeah, we shouldn't be bragging though. We're very frugal with what we do. You know, we really are. So Deb, I'm so excited because I met you through, these van life and all that groups, and you've come and supported us too. And so I just like to hear from the nomad of the week. We've got two other. We've got Mary that was a nomad one week. She's a former. Well, she is a nomadic lady that actually looks for vans for people, which is so cool. We can talk
Wow.
about that. And Cheryl's in a van out there taking little short trips till she goes on the road full time. So you're out there kind of like full time right now. Is
Yeah,
that right?
what I had to do was jump in because everybody was talking about doing it, and I kept thinking, oh, yeah, that would be great to do. But I wasn't going to push myself unless I rented my house out. So
Oh,
I
mhm.
have a couple of friends that wanted to be out in the desert in the summer. I'm like, okay, you
What?
sure?
Oh my
So I've been out
gosh.
here about a month and a half, and I've rented my house till November. So I really had to get into the plan of doing it, and I learned so much because I was watching, Robin Creativity RV, and she
Okay.
goes to BLM land, she goes to state park, she goes way out there, and I thought, oh, that's perfect. And I tried it, and I'm scared to death of animals that can either eat me or get on my pets, or so that didn't work. And then I didn't really want to be central in a big city, so I find that I was telling you the elk lodges are kind of the way that I
Oh, yes.
made it work because I do harvest hosts as well. I think they're great, but you can only stay a
Okay.
night. And
Uh-huh.
then in the Elks lodges, you can stay sometimes for weeks depending on their availability. So it's 3 to 5 nights, and then if they have availability, you can stay, and it's very reasonable. I stayed with full hookups in the East Bay of the Bay Area recently in Walnut Creek, which is a pretty good area, for
Uh-huh.
$25 a night.
25?
Um,
Uh-huh.
25, and it's like gated and you feel secure. Then they have their lodge open usually in the evenings on the weekdays, so you can go and you can meet people, and sometimes they even have food available. So it just feels like, since I'm alone, that I'm connected to something. I really like that.
Oh, that's very cool. And then now do you have to buy a membership?
Yeah, you have to be sponsored by two
Okay.
current elk members,
Okay.
and you kind of have to wait. You go through a dinner first, and then you go through initiation, and it's a little weird. I mean, I was in the military, so it's not that weird to me, but you do have
Right.
to swear that you love God and your country, and you have to do the Pledge of Allegiance. So if anybody has issues with that, that's going to be a problem, because they do ask that you feel this way in order
Uh-huh.
to join. My concern was I didn't want to be like, I'm not younger, but most of them are a lot older than me that have been in these lodges, and being a woman. But I haven't had that issue. I found a lot of women that are actually in the leadership of the Elks lodges. So that's
Really?
a
Hmm.
problem.
Now, when you go out there, do you see another lot of women that are out there also, alone like you, or?
I found couples mostly, uh,
Mhm.
and single men. I think it's rare for somebody to be like me. I have my dogs, which keeps me company as well. But that's another thing. It's like, okay, if I went to a place on my own, I do stealth camp alone. Then I kind of feel a little sorry for myself, a little lonely sometimes. So that's one reason I joined. I wanted a community feeling, and
There
I
you
get that.
go. Hmm. Speaking of dogs, you showed us your dogs there earlier. That are, can you show us your rig,
Sure,
if you don't mind?
sure.
I think it's kind of people like to look at inside of rigs.
Yeah, it's a little messy right now. We
Well,
just
they're
did
always
laundry.
messy. Yeah.
So
Okay, so that's the dogs over there on the left
that's
there. Oh, how
that's
cute.
one.
And
The
you're
other
with,
one's down below. Say
and that's
hi.
the bed in the back there, or are they
Yeah,
on a
this is
couch?
the bed. There's, I don't know if it's kind of dark back there, but there's the toilet shower hookup, the wet bath.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
But the thing I love about this rig is that you can make it two single beds, or you can
Oh,
make it one king. And with just myself, I just crawl around on it if I need to go get something back in the back. I don't
right.
take it down every day. So, and the dogs, of course, it's a big playground for them, so they like it.
Oh, that's
Um,
neat.
let's see. The other thing it has, which is nice, there's a TV set, and the TV you can put your device if you have an Apple.
Uh-huh.
You can put a connection, and then whatever's on your phone comes on the TV set, so you don't have to worry about getting TV.
Right.
Um,
Now, what about, do you have one of those like local antennas that you can pick up local TV stations?
I can, but
The old rabbit
hardly
ears?
watch.
You wouldn't
Yeah,
watch
I
it,
mean,
huh?
yeah,
Okay.
I hardly watch it. Mostly it's stuff that you stream that I do. Um,
Uh-huh.
I'll show you the front. This is the two burner stove. This is my favorite thing. You were talking about coffee. Can you see this little?
Oh, yeah. What is that?
It's a collapsible pot. It's a little
Oh,
collapsible
how
pot,
cute.
and it plugs in. And then this, I don't know if you've seen these. It's an AeroPress for coffee. So it's a
Oh,
little single cup French press, and I can't live
wow.
without it. And it makes the most delicious coffee I've ever had. I mean, it's not
Wow.
bitter. You know how you go to like Starbucks and it's heavy and bitter and your tummy goes funny? This makes the smoothest little cup of coffee. So I just do that before I do much, walk the dogs, and then I get out of there. If I'm stealth camping, I don't want to sit around too much when people start to get on the road and moving. I don't want
Uh-huh.
them to see me. So
Yeah.
if I'm on the street, literally, like I'll make sure as soon as I've had my coffee, I hit it.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Well, let's bring in Cheryl and Mary, and I know Mary might have just took a break there for a minute. That's okay. Cheryl, do you have any questions for Debbie when she's out there?
How big? That's on a ProMaster, right? You're
Yeah, it's
um,
19 and a half feet. So
yeah,
it's nice
Oh,
because it fits in a parking space.
sweet.
yes. Yes.
So if you're like in a crunch for space, or some of the harvest hosts, they're up in the hills and you can't have a long vehicle to
Right.
stay there. So I've been able to camp really easily. Plus, it's so easy to drive.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
That was really smart. I think when I see these ones that are sticking out like 3 feet, I almost certain I bet you they wish they'd bought something, because then you got to really think about, like an RV, you got to go think about where you're going to park. What
Yeah,
about
this
you?
makes it easy because, like, sometimes, like last night, I stayed in a oceanside because the Elks lodges were full,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
I just went. They don't, unfortunately, they don't let you just dry camp in a parking lot. You have to be registered as a guest. So I went to the lodge, which was really smart. I asked around. I was like, "Can you stay in the parking lot?" She's like, "Oh no, they'll tow you." And I'm like, "Okay, good to know. That'd be a rude awakening. Like all of a
Yeah.
Yes.
sudden, I'm going somewhere." So I just stayed on the side street, and I fit right into a spot. Which, if I
Wow.
was any longer, I don't think I would have made it. So it's very
Hmm.
nice.
Yeah. Well, you could always called me and set in my driveway. I didn't even think about
Oh
that.
yeah,
Yeah, plug right in. Um,
sweet.
Now, Oceanside also has where we're going to have the meetup down there at the harbor too.
Yeah,
And,
I'm looking
and,
forward to that.
and that's $20 a night,
Yeah,
and $10 for day use, and then so it's 30 total. Mary, do you have any
great.
questions for Deborah and her trips around the
I
world?
do. So you yeah, I always have questions. So Deborah, you are in a ProMaster. Did you build it out
No, it came
yourself?
this way. It's not made anymore, but it's called the Corrado Banff. It's kind of
Oh,
like the Solus. It's very
okay.
similar to that, but they don't make the RV part anymore. They're using the ProMaster chassis for like other things like Thors and things like that, but they don't
Yep.
make this one. But I like this one a lot. They called it the Party RV because
Oh,
the two long single beds, you can't really transport people. Interestingly, it only has seat belts for the two front seats.
Right.
oh,
So all the room that you would have, like the long, you can have people over, but they can't ride in it. Only two
oh,
people can. So that's different than some of the vehicles as well. But it's just me and the dog, so we're good.
Yeah. Now,
very
isn't
nice.
there a law that if you don't, let's see, uh, yeah, they can sit if they're willing to sit without a seatbelt, they can still sit back there and ride.
I don't know. Everything that I've seen on this rig says it's not legal without seatbelts.
Oh,
So
really? Okay. Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't. Even the
Yeah.
dogs. I mean, if you hit the brakes, they go
Oh,
flying. So
yeah.
you
Yeah.
gotta lock them in.
Yeah. Well, and again, I apologize because I come out of such old school RVing where, I mean, people were standing in the aisle talking while
Yeah.
you're driving down the road. I mean, it's not like today where everyone's safe. They got everything buckled down and tied down and all
Oh
that.
yeah.
No, we were, oh my gosh.
We were
Even,
never buckled in. It was always the
yeah,
truck camper up top. We
Oh
even
didn't
yeah.
when,
holler at anybody to tell them we were in trouble.
yeah, even when I was selling RVs, well, 25 years ago, I would be the managers always wanted me to drive the big diesels with all the team in there because the guys always drove them too crazy and they knew I was going to drive them safe. And they're all walking around the RV and talking and sitting at the dinette and this and that. So yeah, I forget. I'm sorry that you can't sit back there, but it looks like a fabulous floor plan though. It really
It is.
does.
It's
Yeah.
really good. The other thing too is I'm preaching to the choir with you guys, but to just do it, just jump in and do it, because the more you do it, the more you get what you really like or the areas you feel comfortable, how to choose a space. I really find that every time I do this, I learn something else.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And you learn what you want and what you need and what's important to you. And most of us that are in minivans, I think Mary will probably agree, we would like to have that height and be able to stand up.
yeah.
But the question is, how many minutes in a day are you thinking that? And the only time I'm thinking that maybe 5 minutes a day when I'm, wanting to wake up in the middle of the night or something like that. So I don't really spend a whole lot of time inside. My goal is to be outside being adventurous during the day and then go stealth somewhere. And I don't need to worry about standing up so much when I stealth. But you do learn, like you said, Deb, as you go, down the
Definitely.
down the path. What I started a big RV to a Class C to a cargo van to a mini cargo van to now a minivan. So, what about you, Mary? Do you have any thing to say about the minivan situation?
Man, I'm so in love with that minivan.
She researched too, Deb. She did like you. She researched what she wanted. Yeah, that
but I
was it.
but I will say I love every time I see one of the like the Pro Masters or the bigger
I
transits. Yeah, I
know.
always take that look and say, "Wow, that's so
Hmm.
cool." So, Deborah, I do have a question. Did you did you have to learn to drive it? Because honestly, I had to kind of learn to drive the minivan. I hadn't they had anything with a long wheelbase, so how did
Right.
you master that?
The only thing, I didn't take any special lessons, but luckily the guy that I bought it from had put in a backup camera because
Oh,
it's deceiving
Oh.
how close you are to people. And I had a
Mhm.
spare tire put on the back because crazily they don't come with them. All the tanks that they mount take up the room underneath for the spare tire. And of
Oh, wow.
course, as soon as you think, of course it has a spare tire, then you get a flat and you go, oh, it doesn't have a spare tire. So I
Mhm.
had one mounted, and that makes you even a little longer in the back. So I
Mm.
really do rely on that camera. And the other thing is just swinging the turn a little wider, just so you don't clip your rear.
Oh
But
yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
doing it out of practice. I never really
Mhm.
like had a lesson or anything.
That's pretty cool. Hey, Mary, I want to ask you, do you ever clip, or Cheryl too, in your big Express, do you ever clip your back wheels going around a turn?
I actually have, which I was surprised because I used to drive truck, so I know to watch that back there. But
I know, but isn't that weird?
oops.
My little town and country, I clipped the curb the other day. I went, come on, you used to drive big diesels. What are you doing? But that wheelbase does make a difference, Mary. You're right. You know, it really does.
It does.
How you get around that turn, how you scoot that rear around the back, around the side.
Mhm.
That's awesome. Well, it's really now. You're what is going to happen now as we round things up here, Debbie, in the next months? Now, where are you going to be?
So I'm gonna try to stay in San Diego, mostly just because I'm from here originally. I still have a
Mhm.
lot of friends here. It's nice to be able to connect, and I'm real familiar with it. And also, I find that not putting so much effort to some place new and then figure it all out. I mean, it does take a little
It
energy. It's
does.
nice to stay in the same kind of place that you're comfortable with. It takes less energy, especially taking care of the dogs and everything.
Yeah, and this weather right now we're having is fabulous.
Yes,
And I'm
compared to
going into
everywhere else.
like Arizona and Albuquerque and Denver. Oh, what am I thinking in July?
Right.
I wish I was going to be around this next couple of months. We could go camping together, but I'll be back in September for the meetup, and then maybe we can do something after that. That'd be great.
Sounds great.
Yeah, and we're talking about just to kind of segue into another thing before we talk to Prime, and you might be interested in this also, Debbie. Is we talked last week afterwards about East Coast meeting West Coast meeting Central Coast, and we did a little bit of research this week, and it looks like we are going to go to South Texas for a national meetup, and we'll try to get some of the other clubs involved and go down to like South Padre Island or Galveston or somewhere down there in May. Paula suggested May 5th is a good day to think, but one of the ladies that lives down there says stay away from any holidays or anything where people might be
Yeah,
out.
that's what I was thinking. It might be kind of crowded.
Yeah,
Cinco de
we might
Mayo
have to do
is
April.
next to Mexico.
Somewhere where it's not getting too hot down there. So maybe April. So that's going in the books. Maybe in the next couple of weeks we'll have that organized.
Sweet.
And if you guys have anything to say about it, I mean, Cheryl, I know that's a real long ways for you. But
yeah, and ironically, my husband wants to go down there in February, so that would be 2 trips for me within a few months. It's
ooh, well, maybe we could do it in February.
Maybe.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Just
I
why
don't think
not?
Paula
I mean,
doesn't
I would
care.
love it if I could just make one trip.
I would like to go
A
in
lot of
February,
months.
actually. Because that's supposed to be that's when all the snowbirds go when it's nice weather,
Right.
And then I can, okay, well, let's talk about that some more then. I mean, we got plenty of time. It's not like it's tomorrow. We still have to get our September meetup out of the gate. All right. So what did everybody buy? I mean, all I saw on this week was that one commercial. Are you ready? Where the kids singing, you put Cocoa Burner on and buy your camping gear, all that. And I'm going, dang, those Amazon's got some money for commercials. Because that's all that played was Amazon primetime deal week. All right. So what did everybody buy? What'd you buy, Cheryl?
Oh, sheesh. I bought a whole bunch of just miscellaneous little stuff off my wish list, but
you did?
I've been using just a bucket for a toilet. But the bucket takes up so much freaking space. So I bought one of those toilets that rotate and drop down flat.
Oh, okay.
It's basically just a bucket that flattens.
Okay.
But it flattens. And
give us the pricing on this if you can remember, because like I buy a lot of stuff based on what people say. So
right.
What was?
Let me look here real quick. It says, let's see here. View invoice. 83. Oh, I just clicked on the wrong thing. That was the awning was $83.
That's not bad for the awning.
Yeah, it was one of those king camps. They look like an umbrella, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So they fold up and go underneath.
Yeah.
So the toilet thing was $35.
Okay. All right.
I don't know how much it was. I've just pulled it up. I don't know how much it was on sale anymore. because I
I'm
didn't.
sorry, but my mind is so. I mean, you guys gonna get to know me after all this. I am probably the most frugal person in the world, and so I've got my little Dollar Tree dollar bucket, and then I'm thinking, oh, that would buy 35 of my Dollar Tree buckets.
Yeah, but
That's how I
how
think.
much is that space worth is the question.
Well, that's true, but I go minimalist. Remember, I'm a minimalist also.
Right.
So I have like 2 pairs of shoes, 3 sweats. I don't have. I'm not
Yeah,
a clothes hound.
absolutely.
I have 1 plate, 1 cup, 1 spoon. I go all real minimalist. So, yeah, I hear you though. It does kind of sound neat to be able to
Yeah.
push it away. Yeah.
Because
What else did you
the
get?
height of my bed was just like an inch too short to slide it under the bed.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
So you got an awning. I said
I
here.
got
What
an
else? What else
awning.
did you get?
I got one of those small little battery jumper things that you can just keep in your glove box in case you need to be jumped and you're out in the middle of
Oh,
nowhere.
we
and
talked
you can't
about
find-
that. Yes, we talked about
Those
that.
were like 63% off or something like that. It was ridiculously cheap for what I was thinking. So
that would charge up your car if you need it, or your van
Right.
if you need it. Okay.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, run
That
battery
sounds
down.
like something, yeah, that you would,
Yeah.
yeah. You never
And
know.
I caved and bought one of those little Dash mini waffle makers.
I love those. I
I like
know.
to do like tortilla wraps, and then
Yes.
I'll put them in a frying pan and flip them over. And I figure if I've got electricity, I'm going to put it in there and I'll cook both sides,
Oh,
or I could make waffles or something. And it was like $9.
yeah, $9. Yeah. Yeah, I bought one of those. My friend wanted one of those to make crepes, so I bought the pancake one.
Yeah,
But you know what I use is my George Foreman.
yeah.
I put
have
put
that.
vegetables in there and grill them with garlic and
Mhm.
olive oil. I put uh, grilled cheese sandwiches. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't rarely use it even for steak, but yeah, that's fun.
Sweet.
Okay, what else you get?
I got a little glass pan that fits perfectly into the Hot Logic instead of the little plastic one that comes with it,
No way.
with a glass lid that
Yeah.
fits down on it.
Oh, so it'll cook right in there. Wow.
And
Well,
like
that's
I
pretty
said, a whole
cool.
bunch of little stuff that I thought would be handy to have. So I popped it into my wish list. And of course, when they're on sale, it's like, oh, I'm never going to get it cheaper.
Nope. So that commercial really worked for you then, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm a sucker for a sale. What
yeah.
can I say?
Paula's. I don't know where Mary is. I was dying to hear about her new power station. But anyway, what'd you get,
Paula.
Mary? What'd you buy, Mary?
Paula. That's Paula.
That's what I said. I keep calling you Mary. I'm sorry, Paula. Yeah.
She's my sister from another.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. There you go.
We all are. So I'm like, Cheryl, it was so fun to me to get some things I needed for the house, first of all. But talking about the fan. So I was able to get my fan.
Did you get it? What did you get? I'm curious. I haven't got mine yet. So what'd you get?
I'd have to look and see some kind of clip-on fan for campers. So
Is it USB though? I mean, do you charge it? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Got a USB fan, and you're gonna laugh about this, but I've been wanting a Ring doorbell. So,
oh, you
I love my
did?
Ring doorbell.
I got me a doorbell because I figured, I can take it with me if I want to, or whatever. And it was just the first generation, so it's not fancy, but it does the job. It's cheap. Got that too, and too many other things that I probably didn't need, but I got them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great. See, I've never been an online shopper, so I'm a what's called a lay down shopper. I go out and then if I see it, I lay down and I buy it. Doesn't matter what the price is, because I want it. But now that there's so many things, deals and all that, kind of like saving money. Did you get anything, Debbie?
I didn't get anything recently, but before I left, I got the cubes. I have been using the little clothes cubes, that you put in a suitcase, but they were too small, and every time I opened it, it would like explode with all my clothes around. So I got bigger ones that I can put my pants in one, my shirts in another. Because I don't know how many times I was digging through like a laundry basket or a laundry hamper kind of thing, and I wasn't able to find my things, and it was making a mess. So I got those clothing cubes. I got my AeroPress before I left because I was using like a little 4-cup coffee maker.
Uh-huh.
and it was just kind of messy, and then the big filters and everything. So I just got the AirPress. I'm really happy with it.
I like the AeroPress. When I drink coffee, that's what I
Is
use.
that all you do? Uh-huh.
Just 1 cup at a time, because I
Yep.
Yeah.
never make a pot of coffee. Just
Yeah.
once in a blue moon, I want coffee, so I get out the little grinder and grind just enough beans for 1 cup of coffee. And
Oh,
just
you guys are
Mhm.
making me want coffee again.
I'm sorry.
I always
Oh.
told myself, I don't care, you know, how old I get, how fat I get, how wrinkled I get. I just want my cup of coffee in the morning, you know. I never thought I would quit. I really didn't, but
Oh.
I've made it almost a month now. I mean, I like my little pomegranate in the morning, so
Oh.
it seems to be working. You know, pomegranate and an ounce of chocolate, and it sets me up. Sets me up like coffee used to, but just that taste of that French vanilla and that fresh brewed. Ooh, yummy. Well, we're winding down. Well, Paula's going to be in a minute. Well, we'll get to, she just texted me and said she's running a little bit late, but we like to cap the recording off at 30 minutes. But if anyone wants to come in, that link there, you have to come in via that link. Unfortunately, when we close off the recording, and just press that link, and you'll be able to be brought into the room that we're in. If you'd like to come in and just chit chat outside of the recording, I want to thank all of you for just having so much fun these last few months. I will be on the road next Thursday night, so I do have the same backdrop in my van, so you might not think I'm on the road, but I will be. I don't know about the palm tree and the beach sign or anything, but I'll be on the road next Thursday night, so I'll show you my scenery wherever I am, probably Colorado Springs. And also, I'm real excited about the fact that I just completed the merchandise store and did some little promo on it and saw a couple little sales off of it. So it's kind of fun, that our nomads have some little merch now. And up in the corner there is our pink hats. I'm going to try to start everybody wearing pink hats so we can be the pink hats. And those are over there on the merch store. It's just silly, silly stuff.
You gonna do hoodies?
There's hoodies over there. There's
Okay.
T-shirts. There's cups. There's purses. There's this. I just tried to pick a little bit of everything, and I'll change it too as time goes on. Different logos on each one of the products. That particular logo on that hat says pink hats, and then I made one for the guys, which is blue hats, so they don't feel left out and all that, And also, the other announcement I wanted to make is I started bringing these videos, these weeklies, over to our new YouTube channel. And so, if you ever want to go in and look at yourself as you were recorded, you can go over to YouTube. It's Nomad Lifestyle, and the link is up on our group page. If you just want to make it easy on yourself, you can just go press that link on our page and look at some of the weeklies. Some of my travel videos are up there. And if you have any travel video or any pictures or anything that you want to, put up there, I'd love to put some travel from all the nomads, or inside of your rig, or how to do a cup of coffee in the morning. I mean, all that kind of stuff people really like. Have you noticed, like you just showing me that coffee there, Debbie? I would have loved to have known that all this time, but anything else before I cap off at 3000? Anybody want to wave or say goodbye or whatever? And actually, we've got about a minute. I read it wrong. It's 28:25. So here we are. Anything else you want to on for the recording that you want? Any announcements? Anything going on? Mary's in a play down there in Georgia. She's going to have to give a shout out to that.
Yep, shout out to the play, August 6th. It's called She's Getting Married. So
that is so cool. And are you going to get someone to video it too?
Yes, I'll get the stream. And so
also, let's see what else. Debbie, do you have anything you want to share with us before you go? That Elks information was really good. I think we've never talked about that before.
Yeah, it's really handy. I would do it if you have somebody that's in Elks to sponsor you.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds really safe too. So I don't know. It sounds for a woman anyway. For us women, it sounds really safe.
I'm definitely going to look into that. My father-in-law's an Elk. So.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. I've heard it's great and it sounds reasonable. You're safe. Now, do they have a dump station also, or?
most of them do.
They do. Okay.
There's a whole website for just the Elks lodges with camping, because there's
Okay.
a lot of lodges that don't have it, but their one website will tell you all of them. There's a lot.
Wonderful. Well, thank you once again for coming in. Don't anybody go away. If you want to come in, press that link and we'll chit chat a little bit here. We'll see you all next week.